What's grounded, fam? It's your boy Johnny Gio.
And Ian Bear.
That's right. Sober Contracts is in the motherfucking building, bro. I'm really excited about this shit. Two dudes just chopping it up about what? Sobriety, trauma, fucking life, all the bullshit we went through. So without further ado, let's fucking jump right into this bitch, dog. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me and taking the time to talk. Just chilling, just another day in the
Another
life.
day, dude. You know, it's kind of weird because you say thank you for having me, but this is kind of like a combination because we're gonna both share this into our own platforms, just so we could introduce one another. Because we do got an interview lined up for you on the Grounded Phoenix podcast, and that's gonna be more based on like your story and sober contracts and what you got going on right there. So this video is actually just to chop it up really and kind of express our vision, bro. Because we like we were talking about earlier, 2020 was a fucking crazy ass year, but at the same time it's like one of those years where it's like you figure out what you're made of, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
um we're going to take this opportunity to just talk about our experiences in terms of like our platform and the vision behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start it off. So I'm the host of Grounded Phoenix podcast, if you guys are not familiar with it. um, Ian, thank you. I know you're going to be sharing this on your platform. So just want to talk about the Grounded Phoenix podcast. And first, really, I want to talk about the name of it, Grounded Phoenix. No, I'm not from Arizona. I get that a lot. I'm actually from Los Angeles, California. And, the Phoenix bird, rising up from the ashes, that just kind of describes, my story. And I think it really describes everybody's story that comes up from addiction or I don't know, anybody that been through traumatic experiences that really fucking hit a hellhole and just fucking rose up. So that's really where the name stems from. And then grounded, bro, grounded to me is just a word that symbolizes stability, because prior to me being sober, it was chaotic, not just out here, like in here, bro. Like it was just, I was a mess. And I think now that I'm sober, it's not perfect by any means. My life is not fucking perfect. And, I still have my highs and my lows, but I'm able to bring it together and bring myself to like this level of stability. So that's where the name comes from. And I find that in interviews that I've done that, people are able to come to that state of being. So I feel like that name is kind of universal to anybody's life, really. So that's where the name stems from. And Grounded Phoenix, the podcast itself, it's a platform. And I just want to say, it's not just for sobriety or people that are sober. And the reason why I want to say this is because, there's so many people that go through either traumatic experiences or have mental health issues, but they actually do, either still drink and they're good with that. There's some people that actually can have a drink and not fuck up their entire life. There's some people that can go to a rave, maybe pop a fizz, and then that's that.
Mm.
So I want to close that gap between people that are, normies and people that are straight edge or sober, just because one thing I've learned in life, bro, is I don't want to focus on the differences anymore, dude. Like I feel like
Mm.
this world is just so fucking separated in so many ways. I know we were talking about that
Yeah.
in one of our conversations and shit. So like I said, I want to close that gap, and I think this is a good way to do it by
Hmm.
creating a platform so people can come on and share their experiences, whether you're sober or not, looking at the similarities, the shit we've went through our childhood, or maybe you were, probably overweight and you freaking went on this crazy fitness journey, and now like you're feeling yourself and life is better, or somebody that overcame cancer even. I want to make sure and provide this platform so people can see, hey, you know what? I went through this. This is my story, and this is me coming out of it. Like really promote the solution aspect of it. Of course, there's so many solutions even to getting sober. I feel like nowadays, like those old ways are kind of, going out
Hmm.
the door, and that's a good thing. Because why? Because everybody's different. Everybody has a different way of thinking, you know, different genetics. Shit is hereditary. Yes, we know that, but there's so many solutions out there, and I want to keep an open mind. I want to have, I want to, I want to express to be open minded for people, so that, because I know coming up early on, a lot of the AA meetings that I was supposed to go to, they were court ordered, bro, and
Mhm.
I didn't fucking feel like I fit in. I was like, what the fuck is this fucking cult shit? Like, I don't want to be part of any of this, So early on, I know it's difficult to um kind of be open about like the idea of people coming together and like being sober and all of this stuff. So for me at least, I felt like I had to go on a journey on my own, really just so I can be more open-minded to the 12 steps or AA meetings. And during that growth, um, now I can say, hey, I can go to a AA meeting or a NA meeting or any type of meeting that involves people coming together and bettering themselves, and I'm all for it because I'm not that closed-minded person anymore. So that's basically the platform of the Grounded Phoenix channel, bro. Yeah, that's what I got for my podcast, dude.
I love it. That's what attracted to me to reach out to you on Instagram in the first place. And I think I was one of those people who's like, "Aren't you out of Phoenix?" You're like, "No, I'm in LA, bro." I'm like, "Get the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
out of here."
you
It's
were.
funny, and I'm gonna use the pun intentionally. Birds of a feather flock together, and so at the Phoenix, I already knew what it was. You know what I mean? You went into your whole spiel like I already knew. I'm a Harry Potter fan, and I knew the symbolism of it. I probably shouldn't say that because the copyright stuff, but we can edit that out. But no, I love the grounded concept too. I just wanted to say that, and I agree 100%. Everything you're talking about, you know what I mean? You're starting from the inside out. We discussed that a little bit, your vision, you like what you're trying to do, and you're doing it right. And you're absolutely right. It's not just for sober people. We know that because the 12 steps, we see the same exact steps in every fellowship, whether it's overeating, gambling, sex and love, codependency, even these people don't even do drugs, they're just like giving too much of themselves away. And it's the same steps, the same spiritual words, whether you're talking, I have like an anecdote or parable or cliche from like every ideology, from Native American ideologies, to Asian ideologies. They all lend to the same, values and morals and stuff. And that's what it is. When we're addicts, we're so selfish. We think it's all about us, and then we get sober and we think it's all about sober people. And in all fairness, there is an element of that. We do need to connect with other people that do have the disease, and amongst that population, maybe some people that have other social stressors like LGBTQ need to talk to other people that understand those variables. You know what I mean? So there has to be a little bit of both. We need to come together, but we also need to understand that we are different, and that sometimes women need to be with women sometimes, you know what I mean? And things like that. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of change in the world, and people are, you see a lot of people evolving, and then a lot of people not. And without getting into politics, social stressors. I'm a counselor, so I'll get into a little bit of that, even though I'll try not to talk too much about myself. My vision and yours are pretty much hand in hand. My history, I have 8 years of counseling experience. I was an addict, came out here for treatment, got a certificate, started working, fell in love with it, burnt out twice, and I just keep getting pulled back into it. COVID hit. I tried to be a barber, and I wasn't allowed to take state board. The last time before that, I tried to step away from counseling. I ended up relapsing, and I have a whole story to share about that. I ended up being in a hospital bed and fighting for my life for like 2 years, and it's almost like God came up with a job for me. And every time I step away from it, He's like, "All right, you're not going to do my work." He's gonna pull me. It'll start with like bad luck, and then it just gets worse. And I don't have to be on drugs for those things to happen. You know what I mean? And so obviously drugs are going to kill us quick, jails, institutions, death. But if I keep living in my will, even when I put the drugs down, like he'll give me some other shit to, create an unmanageability, you know what I mean, in my life.
Yep.
And so, trying to do enough, but not too much. And like being willful, but not in self-will. And it's been a journey this year. I've been in fight or flight. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared, like, I lost my dad. And it's hard not to talk about a little bit of personal stuff because that's what brought me to this project. I went from counseling to group contracting. So basically, all that means is I went from a W-2 employee that had health benefits, that had to sit through every meeting, every treatment team meeting, every clinical like decision I had to be a part of, every case management decision I had to be a part of. And I got to take a step away from the 12 core functions of counseling and focus on one, which was group counseling. And I got to be a 1099 group contractor for a couple of years
Nice.
and build my network that way. And I met a lot of, I worked at a lot of places. I got to know the intimate side of treatment, the unethical side. I got to like see like kind of from the outside looking in, like what some places were doing. And I got to leave very easily because, I wasn't like really wrapped up in that. I learned, I'll share that part of my journey on the, when I shared down at Team 12. But what I got so sick of working for unethical people in this field that I was just like done. Like I was like, and between burnout and that, I knew I needed to continue to do what I do, for my own like longevity as like a human. Like, it's like the only trade, the only thing I've ever really been good at, that I love doing, is counseling. And I'm not talking 12-step like service work. I mean, I love that too for other reasons, but I mean like the brain, like science, and like educating like my clients' parents on how they're not bad, and like seeing the reunion between like parent and kid, like all that like cool like counseling shit, you know what I mean, like stuff that your sponsor can't do, like, and right. And all that good stuff. And then like bridging the gap for mental health clients too, like, is something I'm really passionate about. Guys, I have like mild mental health stuff. I like I've been diagnosed with a few different things, ADHD and bipolar at times, and OCD. But a lot of these things lend to addiction. And even to this day, I'm not sure if I'm just like a super addict or if like maybe there is something else, there as well. But I can tell you this, I've definitely felt like an outside issue, like more times than I'm comfortable with in a meeting. And I'd love to, as much as I love like the 12-step community, I'd love to be able to have another outlet for people to discuss these outside issues that a lot of groups aren't willing to talk about, even though they should be, because it says in both literatures, that we have the right to share about anything on our recovery. There's a lot of politics in these and and I'm not talking about social politics. I'm talking about like ego politics. I've done area commitments. I'm not gonna, the program saved my life and it continues to do so. But for me, I took the advice of my first sponsor, which was, maybe I need a therapist as well. You know what I mean? Like maybe I need some other help, in some other areas. And there's a lot of different problems, but the solution is simple and the same, but it might not be understood the same delivery method to everybody. You know what I mean? So, I mean, obvious ones, if someone's blind and they can't read, we're going to have to figure out another way to translate that message. Some people have learning disabilities, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, so that's kind of like, I guess what I was doing. And then what I'm doing now, this sober contracts thing, was just, as I mentioned, my father passed away. I have no idea what's going on with the economy. I got a little bit of life insurance money, more than I'm comfortable having being an addict. Not enough to really do anything big with, but I want to invest it. I'm not really sure what the, people are talking about like the dollar declining, the market, crypto, inflation. I mean, if you pay attention a little bit, it's enough to freak financial. Like the promises came true for me, you know what I mean? But I'm not Buddha. Like this is like scary, you know what I mean? And so I want to do something smart. I'm not looking for like immediate returns. And I wanted to make my dad proud. And I wanted to really utilize what I feel like God's work is for me here, the hand I was dealt. And and so I decided to invest in like a little website, and then like I was like learn web design. I got like my first like real computer. I was running like a little like janky laptop just for PowerPoint groups. And I just started to invest in some equipment. Everything went remote. Everybody's doing Zoom now. And I started thinking like, wow, I can double up on groups. I'll do groups all day long. I love talking. And especially about recovery and if I can help somebody, I mean, it's like amazing for me. It's my calling. And so I started to invest in like, this nice HD camera and like some nice, stuff like a microphone and stuff. And so I could market myself as a better group contractor. Mm-hmm. And then I've been intervention specialist certified since 2013, but I never really stepped that up and capitalized. I'm like, why don't I just add that to the menu? If I'm, you know what I mean? Like, and I built a website and I created like a list of services, and then I decided I was going to start a YouTube channel just to kind of create like some groups, maybe some marketing for my services, and I just fell in love with it, and I just felt like maybe I should just stick with YouTube for a little bit and stop contracting in the interim, and I can always go back to it. So I'm kind of at a crossroads. I really don't know. I'm kind of like I'm doing the next step. I'm really like living. I'm I'm trying my best right now to live the program as much as I can because this is a crazy time for me right now. You know, it's one of those things that. So I shot up to Pasadena today, last minute. I meant to tell you, it's been a crazy week. I know you. Happy belated birthday, by the way, right?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. What,
Thank
like
you.
19 or 20?
Yeah, right. You know, I'm
Uh,
I'm old, man.
Yeah, we'll just we won't tell. We'll save that for a later episode. We'll
Okay, cool
we'll
for
we'll, we'll
sure.
have a raffle. We'll see what the population. No, but yeah. So I shot up there and I'm really excited. That dude's killing it right now. You know what I mean? He has like the same. It's cool like linking up with you guys because I feel like we all kind of have the same vision, but like we all have like a different like kind of character and a different like hand, like a different card that we bring to the table, you know what I mean, like, and it's cool, and it's a testament to what we're talking about, you know what I mean. It's like I grew up in New York City. I feel like an alien out here sometimes. But I come around addicts and stuff and I feel right at home, you know what I mean, like, so it's a trip. But I don't know. Do you have any questions? Like, cause I don't even I'm so new at this. I don't even know. Like when we kicked this off, I didn't even know. I'm like, hi, like my name is. I've never done streams before. It's not my thing. I'm just like a counselor. I usually work in groups and there's HIPAA and I can't like broadcast what I do. So this is like completely like a foreign realm for me. You know what I mean? Video editing on YouTube. Like I've been learning so much. But I'm here to learn from you guys. So I'm just happy to be on a stream and to be making appearances on different mediums right now and platforms, and hopefully I'll be able to reach more people in the future.
Bro. Well, first of all, I want to say my condolences, dude, for your father's, passing and shit. So I want to
Thank you,
say
man.
that first of all. And second of all, I don't know if you noticed, but I got long hair, so I might need a haircut, bro. If you if you want to break it, get back,
Hey,
back to
look, I'm good with
barbershop.
the Clippers, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Just a low taper. I want
Yeah,
to keep the hair long, but
I got you.
just a low taper right here between the beard and the back. Tighten it up a little bit. Who knows? I
I
might
mean,
have a barber now.
I wouldn't be able to charge you though because I'm legally not allowed to do that. But we could work something out on the side when off camera.
Yeah, we
I'm
can
still
be.
hey, I'm still waiting to take state board because speaking to my dad, one of the last things he said before he passed was make sure you get that done because he was a stickler for just finishing shit. He didn't
Yeah.
think I was going to stick with it, but he wanted me to at least get licensed and so I got to do that. But state board's closed still, so as soon as I take my license, my state board license exam, I'll come cut you. But I don't want to say anything else on camera.
Oh, we can't be snitching ourselves out and shit. I also have two boys, bro. You might have two custies right there too.
Oh, there you go.
We'll keep it on the low, homie. Don't trip.
I don't want to piss off the big man. Last time I tried cutting hair, he almost took me out. So nah.
Oh man, I feel you. I feel you on that,
What
dude.
I want to do, speaking of haircuts, though, is I want to get out to Skid Row out by you, and I want to get you with the camera, and I want to do some homeless haircuts, like on the street. Yeah. I don't know though. I don't know. COVID, it's like a touchy thing. You know what I mean? Like it might not get the fucking hype. Like it might get a negative reaction, but
Hey, bro. As long as you're wearing a mask, I think it's pretty cool, isn't it? Like
yeah, I feel like if we're like gloves, masks, sanitizer, whatever, like what are they gonna say?
homeless need haircuts too, bro. They might really appreciate it, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure the big man will appreciate that, dog.
Yeah. Maybe he'll let me off the hook and I'll be able to pick up some clients on the side if I do it like that.
It could be, bro. You fuck around and cut somebody's hair and you get them sober at the same time, bro. Damn, that's a W right there. That's two W's.
I'm not even playing. I got into it because I figured not even for haircutting skills, just counseling, talking skills. I figured clients would come because who better a counselor than your barber? You're sitting in a chair for a half hour. You guys are bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect counseling position.
Yeah. Seriously, bro. People really. Hey, sometimes people treat their barbers as their fucking therapists, dude.
Right.
I mean, I haven't gotten a haircut in a cool minute, but I've said some shit to my barber sometimes. I need to let the fuck out.
Yep,
You know,
I'm
but
telling you, and that's what I started noticing. People were opening up more to me when I was a barber than as a you know how addicts are. They sit down and they're like this for like the first, couple of sessions anyway, most of them. But
people trust their barber. Like the
mhm.
barber is probably somebody like the most closest person to them sometimes, just because they trust them with their hair. Everybody wants to get that bomb ass haircut. Sometimes they might even be like their best friend even to some people. But I want to touch on some stuff. I don't have any questions for you. I want to save the questions for when we do our interview, but I want to
Okay.
touch on some stuff that you talked about earlier, and that's like how we all, with Team 12 and me and you, how we all kind of have like that same vision, except we all have different personalities and ways to deliver it.
Mm,
One thing I want to say about you, dude, is you just have so much experience, and you're just so knowledgeable when it comes
mm,
to like the scientific method to it. And I know you're very passionate about that, talking about the brain and all that, bro. I just
mm.
have my experiences,
Yeah,
my personality, and a couple of tattoos. That's what I'm bringing to the table, dog. And for some reason, it's working for me.
it
And,
works.
and
Yeah,
and I'm really, I love talking to people, dude. I really am very empathetic, and I really feel for people. And if I can somehow help in one way, shape, or form, like I'm game for that, dude. And I really want to thank you for even reaching out to me, like I think it's super dope, and like I want to pick your brain, more so down the line, because I feel like
yeah.
I can just gain so much knowledge from you, bro. It's just
Absolutely. And this is just another part of the mission. You bring this up. The reason I got into this shit doesn't help most addicts. We don't need all the science. We just need like a hug and like somebody to fucking not think, you know what I mean? Just to give us like the benefit of the doubt. Most of the time, that language of empathy is all you need. I mean, we see it work in the program. They don't go over, like, since the 30s, it's been working without neuroscience. The reason I get into all that is to explain it to the families and to society. You know what I mean? Because they're the intellectuals that need to understand like that we're actually sick. This is a disease. Insurance companies aren't paying billions annually arbitrarily because we're full of shit. This is a legitimate disease. We're suffering people. They're locking us up. There's more prisons than schools out here.
mm,
This is not a criminal justice issue. You know what I mean? I'm like on the front lines of mental health reform, like, and so every time for me, it's not just about saving the addict. I'd love to save an addict. Don't get me wrong. To put my, not literally because I'm a counselor, it's unethical to hug them, but like mentally hug them, and watch them grow and it's a beautiful thing. But if I can make the machine stop creating addicts,
yes.
that would be great. And I'll tell you, I know how I became one, and it was sitting in a fucking chair for 12 years, and being fed medication because I had ADD or something. Like I needed a different set of things, and society's becoming more sympathetic to this stuff. And we're at a point in time where we are going to listen. Like we have to, because their fucking kids have it and insurance companies are paying all this money. Now they got to listen. You know what I mean? Like the prisons, it doesn't work. The war on drugs doesn't work. And so, and while we're at it, let's just like address, society at the same time, because their parents are calling me looking for answers. Like, what do I do here? What do I do here? And I got news for you. This is like the fucking problem. Like, if anyone's ever watched The Dog Whisperer, all right, like Caesar goes to these houses because their dog is so bad. And he says, I rehabilitate the dog. I train humans. That's what he says. It's the same thing with addicts. The addict's not the problem. The codependent, like chief enabler, is the fucking core of the disease of addiction. It's a family disease. So I got the mom call me like, how's my like fuck up son? And I'm like, actually, I got news for you. You're the fuck up. He's just fine. We're rehabilitated. I can't say that. You know what I mean? You can't say it. So we have to explain, like, we have treatment team meetings, like everyone knows it. And the whole process of them being in treatment is maybe the parents will start to see that they're the problem. Hopefully, we can get them to Al-Anon. They can start learning about codependency, and all those basics. And I'm working on a boundary group right now. I'm really excited, but I'm like a noob with cameras, and so I'm having issues with that. But I have the whole studio coming together in the living room. Hopefully, and the missus is letting me keep it set up so I can just leave it there. So when I get a good interview, I can just focus on like being present. Most of my interviews on YouTube, and right now I'm exhausted. Like I'm so shot out. By the time I get the cameras and the lighting and the fucking sound and the computer hooked up, I just bought my first computer last month. I sit down the person I'm interviewing and I'm like how are, like, tell me about your fucking life. Like, I'm like so burnt. Like I it's not a good interview. And anyway, so I'm excited. This is why I'm really excited to meet you and get down to Team 12 and do this, because like I don't even, the interview side of stuff is fun. It's more promotions, and I'd rather stick to the counseling side of stuff, you know, the groups and educating the families and the neuroscience and explaining to, you know, it's a lot different when someone's yelling at you, addiction's a choice, and you're like, okay, is a stroke a choice? Like, because actually the same part of the brain, the ungulate singular cortex, goes dark, you know, it's the same as a stroke victim. Their ability to choose, volition is compromised. How can you hold them accountable for that? Like, and they look at you like, oh, I don't know what that means. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like, so, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be like a middle ground here. Like, we have to be able to, like, in layman's terms, explain this to people. Like I can't, the only shit on YouTube right now is medical doctors pointing to like parts of the brain that like sound like, you know what I mean? And then there's guys like me and you that are blasted that nobody believes like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The normies are like, oh yeah, like, because I cursed a couple times. They probably aren't even watching anymore. And you know, that's, I'm trying to bridge that gap. That's the gap I'm trying to bridge. I'm trying to bridge that. I'm trying to bridge the gap between mental health and addiction. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be an outside issue anymore. You know, there should be like a free place for every town for, like, you know, addicts or mental health people, primary mental health. You know, if you're like fucking bipolar and I fly to Phoenix, Arizona, you know, there should be like an available resource and an online like fellowship of, I don't know, you know what I mean? There's nothing for these people, you know, and you know, I plan on giving them a channel at least, if nothing else, you know, like a resource there, and maybe an online community. We'll see what happens. I mean, so many different things are happening right now, so, you know.
Bro, well said, dude. There's a lot we can both relate to, especially when it comes to being new to technology, man, because let me tell you, I'm like struggling as well. I kind of have things kind of figured out, dude, but it is a mission, and I feel you and I understand when you're like going to these interviews, and by the time you have all of this set up and then you have your regular job, like this stuff takes energy, dude. But you know what I've noticed is that it's worth every fucking ounce of energy at the end of the day, dude, because the responses people give by showing videos or like by reflecting on them, like, you know, they really heal from it. And I'm not gonna lie and act like it doesn't serve me as well, because bro, I heal from this shit. Similar to you, I was looking at the camera like, oh shit, hi, my name is Jonathan, like scared as fuck, bro. Like I did not know what the hell I was doing. I hated looking at my face. I hated listening to my voice, like all of that shit. I know me and you both talked about that. But there's more episodes that me and you are going to be doing. We're going to try to come up with like some sort of segments, and we're going to try to get together at least hopefully once a week, if that's possible. This way we can join forces and fucking create some bomb ass content for people. But for the most part, you know, people are going to have to wait on that, and also on your interview that we're going to be doing on the Grounded Phoenix podcast, because we're going to try to keep this video relatively short just to give you guys a sneak peek.
Love it. I love it. Big things.
Big things coming, guys. So stay tuned for that.
I think we're gonna end up doing a show, co-hosting.
I think that'll be dope, dude. I think that'll be super dope. You're already envisioning that shit, huh? You're already fucking manifesting.
I mean, I just as hard as it is for me to like, I've like, you know, to see me on TV, it's to be honest, it's starting to get harder to see other people, bro, because this shit's sensitive to me. It is. Like, I'm not talking about like their personality wise. I'm talking about like the misinformation I'm getting on social media. Like I'm trying to like create an outlet for people. You know, and I'm not even charging people right now on Instagram. I'm like just helping people, free counseling, and I'm certified. You know what I mean? Like I'm legally allowed to do that. And I'm doing that for free right now. I'm seeing people, you know, like wandering sheep addicts, like going to the crystal healers and the fucking, you know what I mean? There's like so many mutated versions of health right now. If somebody's like, you know, suffering from BPD and needs medical detox, they can't be seeking help from a fucking crystal yogi right now on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, there's local resources we can direct them to get them, you know, chemically stabilized, medically stabilized, and then we can fucking I have crystals, bro. I love them. I'm serious. I'm not even playing. I'm not putting anything down. I'm not putting anything down, but there's steps, you know, and it's scary. It's scary to me because I remember when I was new, I would have listened to anybody that smiled. I was desperate for a friend, you know what I mean? Like, and so the body brokers, like that one got to me. Like it's happening in Orange County. You know, I don't know. I'm not like in the drop, like since 2020, I've kind of I haven't been on the front lines as much. A lot of Zoom shit I haven't heard a lot. And even when it was going on in front of me, like I'm one of those idiots that just assume, you know, my first thought isn't somebody's like, you know, like backdooring a client and giving them drugs to get them to relapse so that they can collect more detox money per day. Like I'm not thinking along those lines. You know what I mean? I'm like genuinely trying to like make a referral out, you know, and stuff like that. It's crazy. But anyway, it just got to me, man. All the unethical stuff, you know, the sexual predators in the rooms, and it, you know, I think there's like one place I've worked at where there wasn't a support staff or something hooking up with a client, like somebody just got fired, or you know what I mean. It's just like it happens like all the time, you know what I mean, and I don't know. I'm sensitive to that. I have a lot of trauma, CPTSD in my experience, like in my youth, and then throughout my addiction, and then in early sobriety too. So, you know, I'm trying to protect some of these vulnerable people. They're like, to me, the addicts, new addicts are children. You know what I mean? They're very impressionable. They have a lot of energy. They can't deduce. Their ability to choose is not as good still. You know, it's not like they get fucking sober and they're making good decisions. A lot of the wreckage I caused was in early sobriety, worse than my addiction. We'll get into that shit. So anyway, I think we can make a real change, man. I think we can help a lot of people, you know, and I'm not trying to I'm genuinely, I pray on this on a daily basis. Like, this isn't about me. I'm almost a decade into counseling. Like, they taught us in school 2 to 3 year burnout, you know, the average counselor. I'm going on like 3 times that right now, you know, and that's why I know so much, because there's not a lot of people that stuck it out this long. I tried to get the fuck out twice. But I want to pass this off. You know what I mean? I see the younger generations like yourself, and you know, you guys still have that energy and fire, and I want, there's changes happen. They're good, but I feel like there's a lot of things are just kind of getting lost right now, you know, in the shuffle. And to me, ethics has always been the most important thing. I have like an impeccable ethical record on CCAP. Like, I have 0 complaints ever in my career. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just keep it like that, and but not compromise the fun part of it too. You know what I mean? Like we get to be tattooed and ethical, and we get to, you know what I mean, like play our music loud and be ethical. Like there's middle ground, you know.
There is.
So I'm trying to show that that's what attracts the youth to the program. You know, when I was young, I thought it was a death wish. I thought like I was like, I'll never feel again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I either get to do drug. Like, I literally did not think I had anything left in here to produce like joy, you know. And I'm just really glad that there was guys that like looked like gangbangers that like were sober, that were like going to church groups and like volunteering, and showed me that it can. At that time, that appealed to me, you know. I've changed since then, but you know, there's a lot of lost people out there that are looking in the wrong direction, and if I can help redirect them, you know what I mean, it's my calling. It's what I think it is. I know it's yours, and yeah, man, I'm really, really, really excited about it. I feel really like I feel closer to God than I have in a long time, so it's cool, man.
Bro, I feel that energy, dog, and I love how you're just manifesting everything, because I feel the exact same way, dude. There's definitely a lot that me and you can accomplish together, and you know, even with Team 12, and just about like anybody really that can bring that to the table, dude. But what we got going on right here, like this energy, like just me and you, what we're sharing right now, believe me, I feel that shit, dude. I feel that shit, and I'm very thankful for you. Like, to when you reached out to me, that I was just like, yo, like, for real, like, man, this guy's like so knowledgeable, dude. Like, this guy, man, like, I'm sure like this who can help me out in so many ways, so in turn I can give back to people as well, dude. And I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Without saying any more, because we know we do want to keep people
Yeah,
on
no,
their toes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I love the passion, bro. I'm extremely grateful for you, and we're gonna end this video right now. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'll never be the same.